Last week I nearly froze to death in my van, so I figured it was about time I installed my diesel heater. But with no time to test it out before this week's stealth camp, will I manage to get it working or have another freezing cold night in the van? On. How does it work?
How it sways in the sun.
This place is absolutely stunning, but as this is the National Trust sort of area, you can't camp here, but I probably could just stay here and nobody would know. But part of me doesn't want to stay down here because of the wind. Not that it's going to matter, it's quite cozy when you're in a van and the wind's blowing, but also I've got absolutely no signal. Yeah, you see that? It's got like airplane mode or whatever that means. Absolutely no signal down here, so don't really fancy being completely shut off from the rest of the world this evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have lunch here with that lovely view, and then I'm going to go find somewhere else to stay for tonight. See, it's windy, isn't it? Right, before we test the diesel heater, I'll do that later this evening. I'm just going to show you where I installed it. So there's the where it comes out, and then up there is the controls for it. I've not put a fuse in it yet, that's why it's not showing anything. I actually got it in underneath here. Behind the fridge, in there, is the diesel heater. As far as the tank goes, it's under there. See, it's just behind that blue bag there. There she is. Right next to the back door, so that I can put the diesel in easy enough. And that's another reason why I don't want to stay here, because of how windy it is. I don't want to be pouring diesel into that tank with the back doors open in this windy condition, because it's just going to go everywhere. Broke my egg. God damn it. Yes, I realised I didn't put any butter in my bacon and egg bap, but I didn't pick up any butter, so I actually really wanted to sit outside because it's quite a nice day out there. The sun's out. It is a bit shaded here, but I just figured it'd be pretty nice just to sit out there and eat my lunch, but it's pretty windy. We're gonna stay in with the windows shut. Right. That is actually really, really tasty. It's the simple things sometimes. You can cook all these like elaborate meals, but a bacon and egg bap, you just can't go wrong really. I figured I should clear something up. I posted a video a few weeks ago and quite a few of you in the comments mentioned that they were concerned about my health because of the amount of junk food and greasy, high cholesterol food I eat when I'm making these videos. And I'll be honest with you, I don't eat like that during the week. I'm actually pretty healthy, but I like to think of these nights when I come away in the van, it's kind of like a cheat night. So when I'm out, away from my wife, it means I can eat and drink whatever I want, including sweets. So thank you for your concern, but I am actually pretty healthy normally. I just like to push the boat out when I go camping. So we're starting to get the sea foam blowing in because of the wind. Jeez. So as lovely as this place is, I'd say we need to find somewhere a little bit less windy to spend the night. I just had a warning light come up on the dash. Brake pad wear service now. Great, I need brake pads. Let's row! See you later, Chapel Porth. So this is the car park at the Driftwood Spas, and I just saw on the sign it said pay when you leave, and it's 24 hours is £25. £25? You can get a campsite cheaper than that. I mean, look, I'm not making it up, look. Yeah, 6 to 24 hours, £25. Now, around the corner, I saw a Cornwall Council car park. I bet that's more reasonable, but you won't be able to stay there, but meh. How can it be this much less windy, just like literally 5 minutes down the road? Look at this. 1st November to 31st of March, no charge. Is that just between 4 and 9 though? Motorhomes and campers prohibited between 11 and 8. Oh, it's a good job that my van is a commercial vehicle, isn't it? Now, do you all remember a little while back when I was testing running this van off the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max? I said I'd be testing it out for a month, and it's been about two and a half months since I've been using it, and I said I'd let you know how it performs, and then I realised I never did, so here it is. Okay, so this here is what I've been using to run all of the 12 volt and all the 240 volt in this van, because I was having problems with my, not so much the leisure battery, but with my solar charge controller and everything. I connected it up to the solar on the roof. If you want to, I did make a video about it, maybe check that out after this one and you can see what I did. This is the Delta 2 Max, so it's the bigger one to the Delta 2 that I showed recently in the Vivaro. All of the 12 volt ran off it absolutely fine. I've not had any issues with that. It's just been plugged in through one of these cigarette charger type plugs, and the 240's have literally just been plugged in here, and that can control all of it. And one of the main benefits that I found with it is that I can control it through the app, so if I'm in bed I don't need to leave all this on all the time. I can literally just switch it off from my phone. And I do know quite a few of you have been sort of contemplating whether you want to go down this route to power your van. The only thing I would say is that like one of this size for this size van is absolutely fine. If you've got a smaller van, you probably could do it with like just the Delta 2. But unfortunately, the day has come that I'm going to be retiring this from the 12 volt. And there's only one reason for that. And it's because the diesel heater on startup draws like 15 amps. And this socket is only a 10 amp socket. So what that means is that I'm still going to be using this as an inverter essentially to give me 240 volt electricity for the van. But I'm going to go back to using the leisure battery to control my 12 volt. And what I've done to make sure that the leisure battery is completely full is I actually use the Delta 2 to charge the battery. So it just means that that fuse box there, which runs all the 12 volt in the van, can literally just run off the leisure battery rather than this little car socket plug that I've got here. So if you are still thinking about doing it, then I've not had any problems. And if you're building a van and you're a bit of a novice and you don't really want to get all this set up, this is a nice, easy, quick slot it in, plug and play essentially, and it's good to go. Now EcoFlow are still offering a lot of discounts on these, and they've got one on at the minute where you can save up to £1,100. And if you use my link in the description and my discount code LoveSundays, you get an additional 5% off as well. So highly recommend. So it is time to unplug. This is one of the good things with when you build your own van, you can pretty much mend your own van if there's any problems with any of your electrics or anything. Right, goodbye, my lover. As far as this diesel goes, I'm only going to put a little bit in just to make sure we haven't got any leaks, because unfortunately I didn't really film a lot of this. I did film a little bit. It was mainly, I did most of it on my own, but I got my dad to help me cut the hole through the floor to actually fit the diesel heater. But other than that, all of the pipe work and all the wiring I've done myself. And the weird thing is that a lot of these diesel heaters that you get online, these Chinese ones like what this is, they normally come with this rubber hose pipe that joins where the filter is and everything. And this one didn't. It's literally just, it's just got the pipe there. So the video that I watched is by a guy called Paul Messner, and he does like lots of camping, and he's built vans before. Well, he built a van, and I watched his video on installing it. So if you are looking at installing a van and you're upset that I haven't filmed or shown it, then just watch the video I watched, because it was really informative, and you should learn a lot. So I'm hoping once this is in here, once the fuse is in the fuse box and I turn it on, fingers crossed we don't get any leaks, because diesel in your van, well, I mean, that's a smell that's going to be very, very difficult to get rid of. Right, let's get this out of the way just so that I can check to see if there's any leaks. How does it work? So far no leaks, but doesn't seem to be any fuel on this side of the pump. For whatever reason it's not working. It's got an error message, so I've been watching it and it looked like the pump had literally dragged all of the diesel to the pump, but then getting it through to the other side into the actual diesel heater hasn't worked. So I'm going to have to watch some YouTube videos and see if I can work out what's wrong with it. It turned out I just had to prime the line for longer. It took about 20 minutes, but I finally got it working. I think I've got it working. No hot air yet, but the fuel line on this side is now sucking fuel down, which is good. But it does feel like there's hot air going out. Right. I just had the door open, so all the exhaust fumes from outside were coming in. I've got my carbon monoxide alarm, so let's just put that there. So my exhaust is actually in there, if you can see it. I'm going to FaceTime my dad, because no doubt he will be very happy to know that I've got it working. Oi!
Oi!
There you are. Anyway, I just thought I'd FaceTime you, check it out. It was really loud on startup, but it's quieting down now.
They are, like a jet engine, isn't they?
Yeah, it's quite warm in here now. Right, well, after all the stress of that, you probably didn't see a lot of the stress, because what I was doing wrong was you've got to prime the line, and I hadn't primed the line long enough, so it kept coming up with an error message. But now it seems to be working. It does smell a little bit rubbery in here, but you know, I've read that they do smell a little bit the first time you use them, so it could be that. So I'm going to switch it off now. After all the stress of that, I think I've earned a pint at the pub. Off. How filthy my floor is from getting in and out. So I haven't actually been to the Driftwood Spars pub in probably 3 years. I can't even remember the last time I came to St Agnes, to be honest. Before we go in for a pint, I just want to check and see what the waves are doing. I don't know why I've got my sunglasses on, it's pretty much like nearly night time. That one's got a height barrier. So it's just Mercedes Vitos and VW Transporters in this car park. Alright, let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, it's quite big out there. Now to me, I'm not fit enough for these size waves. Maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago maybe, but these days, I mean, it's not so much the size of the wave, it's how long it takes you to paddle out through all of the white water. It does look like they're having fun though. Can I get a sea shanty, please? Tell you what though, it's actually still pretty warm in here. Probably had that diesel heater running for, I don't know, probably 15 minutes before, and I've just come back to the van and it's nice and warm. Like, who would have thought having a diesel heater that you can leave on and not worry about how much energy it's actually taking from your vehicle could be such a game changer. Whoa! So I didn't really fancy cooking after that bacon and egg sandwich, because that was like really intense cooking obviously. So it's beef casserole tonight. I would much rather it had been lamb stew, but this is all I had in the cupboard. So the non-alcoholic beer of this evening is Brewdog Nanny State, again, because again that's all I had in the fridge. So cheers. I mean, beef casserole is fine, but it's no lamb stew. Yummy. I think I've done enough for one day. I'm pretty much just going to get into bed and watch a movie. Well, I say a movie, but there is no internet here, and all I've got downloaded on Netflix is about 12 episodes of The Office, so I'm going to watch that. Right. Oh, this is so cozy. It's so nice to have a warm, cozy van. But on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. I slept really well. I didn't have the heater on all night either. I literally must have turned it off at about, I don't know what time it was, but it was just as I was falling asleep. And then I woke up this morning, not at all cold, but probably put it on for about an hour and then went back to sleep, and now here I am. And it's so warm in here. Lovely. Looks like it's been raining. It's raining. Something nice about waking up to a nice rainy day where you're all nice and cozy in your warm van. Right. Ugh. Well, I'd like to just hang around for the day, but I've got to go get my brake pads sorted. So, thank you so much to everyone who's bought me a beer through the link in the description. Thank you very much. And if you do want to get a deal with EcoFlow, don't forget to use my link in the description at my discount code and you'll get some money off. Right, and I'll brake pad wear. I'll see you next week. Cheers!